From Chris in Cincinnati, he writes, Eddie, I saw the last Van Halen tour, and while Dave's vocals were not great, I felt they were passable. Recent footage indicates a substantial decline. Do you think it's possible that the brothers have come to the realization that he can't do it anymore, and as a result, pulled the plug on the planned reunion tour with Dave and Mike? Chris, I don't think that's it at all. We have no idea, and I sound like a broken record saying this because I say it so often, but it's just the truth. We have no idea, unfortunately, what is happening or is not happening with Van Halen. We just do not know. We just don't know. And the reasons why, and if Eddie is sick or if he's not sick, we have no news. But I don't think it has anything to do with Roth. I think from Roth's perspective, he hung in there as long as he could when he realized nothing was happening and the latest round of potential touring was canceled. He just said, screw it, I'm going to go do my own thing, and that's what he's doing. Now, let me talk a little bit about Roth for a second, because we spent a lot of time on him last week because the first shows have happened, and they're now in the books. He's done 3 shows in Vegas. I spoke to Mark Goodman, who, of course, you hear here on Sirius XM, usually following me if you listen to the show live on Debatable. And Mark was at the first show in Vegas, and he maintains that it was not as bad as people have made it out to be. Did it need some work? Yeah. Could it have been better? Yeah. But he said it did not sound that way to him in the venue, which is possible. You know, I mentioned these cell phone videos and cameras have gotten a lot better. The audio's gotten a lot better, but it's still, you and I both know anybody can move anywhere in an arena or a club or a theater and have it sound somewhat different. So Mark said it sounded better there. And, you know, he said everybody still had a good time. Now, Roth also ended up making some changes in the other 2 shows he played. He started using a mic stand. Seems like a minor thing, but looks way cooler and works way better than running around with a scarf in one hand and that sort of mic with a little rope at the end of it on the other. And he, you know, although still far from great vocals, he tried a little harder and sang a little bit differently. I said, while everyone was killing David Lee Roth after that first show, one of the things that I said that I stand behind is that it's fixable if he'll take direction. Is he ever going to be a great singer? No, he never was. But it is fixable. And he did take some steps towards making it a bit better. Apparently, he cut way back on the talking, got a mic stand, fronted a little cooler, and tried, you know, singing a little bit better. I'm telling you, one of the things that hurts is the backing vocals are clearly on tracks and recorded vocals. And when you've got pitch perfect, because they're out of a computer, backing vocals juxtaposed against his lead vocal, and that exposes him even more. Make the backing vocals real, even if they're a little off, it at least works better. It doesn't sound like you're fighting a computer, which is what you're doing. And it's real and honest. Who cares? But there was some improvement, and look, he's going to have to figure out a lot because he's going to go out and do these Kiss dates, and it's going to be real interesting to see how that all goes and what he does. You know, maybe cut the band loose a little bit. Let those guys come up front a little bit. Let them own it a little bit. I don't know. But, you know, there was some improvement, so let's keep an eye on it and see where it goes. And on the vocal side of things, I think where Roth gets in trouble is when he tries to sing too hard, too much, meaning that just do the best you can with what you have to work with, but don't try to hold notes and stretch something out. When, you know, there's these moments where he does a big sort of wind up where he's really going to belt it out, and he doesn't have that ability. So just do what you can do within the confines of where you're comfortable and don't try to oversell it. because your voice doesn't lend itself to that. This one's from David, and I'm not sure where Dave. Go to see DLR to see Dave, period. I can't agree with you more on your evaluation. In the UK, there is a printed shirt. Everything goes better with a Dave, which is a TV show based in the UK. Dave is Dave. Dave Edwards. I don't know where Dave is from. It sounds like Dave's in England. Don't know how he gets the show in England, but thank you, Dave, for getting it. There's that side of things with Roth, too. Every band has fans that I call blind worshipers. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, even though it probably sounds that way. But it doesn't matter if they're good or bad, who's in the band, if it's fake, if it's real. It doesn't matter because that person is the greatest and will be the greatest until they stop drawing breath. I got into a texting thing with Jericho. He writes to me, he goes, doesn't matter, Dave's a fucking legend. Doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter if he just goes out there and stands there. I don't care who you are. I've never been of that mindset with any artist I've ever loved. I don't care who it is. I will always look at it objectively and be like, is it still good or does it suck? I've never had that sort of free pass for anybody that I've been a fan of, where I just blindly accept everything they do, no matter how they do it, because that's them. Especially if I'm paying $300, $500 to go see them. But there are a lot of people like that just blindly don't matter. They'll always be the greatest. End of story. No discussion. No debate.